Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet where we find out what happens if you stop pushing the button. Revolution. I'm your host Chad.
I'm your host Rob, and today we're going to be talking about NBC's new show Revolution, which you can currently watch online and also on demand, at least for Comcast Xfinity subscribers.
Cool. So as always, you can check us out on Twitter at Epic Geek Out. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click the button above us. You'll get all the new episodes when they come out.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Epic Geek Out. Also check out the website www.epicgeekout.com.
Nice. So let's get into our review of Revolution. So we just got done checking out the pilot episode for J.J. Abrams' produced new show, Revolution. It is written, created by Eric Kripke, who was a writer on Supernatural, the show, which is, I haven't watched. You haven't watched.
Also a character from Big Bang, but
is it really?
Yeah,
oh, that's funny. I haven't watched Supernatural, but I've heard lots of good things through some of the people that I talked to that have seen it. It stars Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad. Huge fan of him on that show.
Yeah, don't say anything else.
No, yes. Also, briefly, Elizabeth Mitchell from Lost.
Yeah.
Briefly. And other no-name, beautiful-looking people, I mean, pretty much. The basic premise of the show is one day, all electricity goes out, and not just electricity like lights, but also like batteries. None of that kind of stuff works. We don't know why quite yet. And then we flash forward like 15 years later, and we see the civilization and what has happened since. There's no government. There's like a militia now. People are living their tribal ways but still in houses, kind of. Not a whole lot to the premise except that so far.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean that's it. I know I wasn't necessarily looking forward to this. I was worried because J.J. Abrams seems to produce a lot of stuff recently. I feel like it only gets made because his name's on it sometimes, which is unfortunate. Maybe unfortunate. We don't know for this show yet, so we haven't heard our opinions. But Alcatraz, Lost, we're huge fans of, but his recent efforts have been Mets. So what do you think of the show?
Also, it's directed by Jon Favreau.
Oh, right, I did. Yes, I wanted to say that. I forgot.
So I thought that was pretty cool, though. You don't really see his touches on it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty just by the books.
Maybe that one guy, the beard guy, his humor a little bit Jon Favreau, but that's probably the writer.
Yeah, the one character, he says has 60 million or 80 million in the bank. Used to work for Google, but
I have a problem with that too.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's like, Google.
Yeah, I know. So this show happened. I have a lot of problems with the show. Let me go over the first things that I thought were good about it. The setting, first off, cool concept. They can definitely do a lot with the concept. I think just like any show, it is very hard to judge on a pilot episode because you have to, get to know the characters, and that's really what the first episode is spent on. Also the concept. There's a little thing at the end. It's like, oh, that's happening.
I like that.
Kind of a little twist at the end, which was good. And it really, I think it's a great concept because our generation and now even like generations before us, are so addicted to technology. And this
is like my worst nightmare.
It is, honestly. For
and
you
witness firsthand how bad it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
When the power goes out, Chad goes crazy.
For 6 hours, he went nuts. But so it's definitely an interesting concept, interesting thing that they can play with. But they're trying to set up all the characters. The reveal of the Monroe character and who he was interesting. But again, it's like, these survivors, it's the smallest world ever because everyone does, they know each other, this affects that kind of crap. And that, kind of loses me. The one, like not the first fight scene, but like the one in the hotel on the grand staircase was set up well, but like, come on.
The set was so fake.
It was, but I still kind of liked it.
It was like a perfectly broken pillar, like perfectly broken and untouched.
Okay, you're right about that. But one dude takes out
a lot
an
of
army,
people.
and they certainly, I guess, before the power went out 15 years ago, they all watched kung fu movies because this is how the people learned how to fight because they didn't all attack him at once.
And
we
they all
need him
have
alive.
guns. They all have guns.
But now let's
except him.
shoot him. Now that he's not in our line of fire, let's shoot him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I got to the last guy. He's even with me.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight for a while. Oh, blah. Like
Yeah.
that's such crappy
crap. Yeah.
crap. I mean, like, but I'm going to keep watching. I mean, it certainly didn't blow me away. I do like the concept and where it's going, and hopefully we get answers. It explains things. But it certainly it didn't blow me out of the water by any means.
I feel like someone said, "Hey, this is a cool concept," and then they was like, "Oh, let's make a show." But now what do we do? Because there was nothing beyond that concept, and they had to keep reminding you. Like I said with the Google thing, it's like, "Oh, that was an internet thing, right? Or a computer thing, Google." Keep slapping us over the head that this is what it is. You know what I mean?
Which made sense because she was young
right,
when it happened.
But it still was just like,
And the one moment I thought was pretty cool was when he had the daughter just eating ice cream.
Oh, remember what this tastes like?
Remember what this tastes like.
Yeah, that was
the power went out, so of course their freezers aren't going to work. He puts 2 pints, gallons, whatever, of ice cream in front of the daughter and just lets her, enjoy it. And it's kind of like, cool, this is the last moment of just not caring that she's going to have for a while and, stuff like that.
I mean, overall, I didn't like really any of it except for the very end. The very end made me, I'll probably watch another just because those last 2 little twisty things were really interesting.
I'm going to give it 3.
Yeah.
Just like Copper, I'm going to give it 3.
I had no problems with a lot of things. Not the least of which is the fact that everyone looks perfectly, their clothes are perfectly washed, more clean than my clothes are.
Katniss leather jacket from
my
Hunger Games.
My clothes are not even that clean, and I use a washing machine. You know what I mean? Their stuff, they had no dirt on their face. Their hair was perfect.
Perfectly well tailored suit. Not suits, but they're.
Everyone looks beautiful and gorgeous. I mean, everyone looks perfect.
So, not the Google guy, but
but he still even had a well manicured beard.
Yeah,
for the most part, it was big. But
you're right. I mean,
it was crazy. I mean, I was just like, this just takes me out of it so much. The setting. And even the sets were very, just perfect.
And why were they using muskets?
Gosh. I think because, I was thinking that because Giancarlo Esposito shot his, sort of automatic. I'm like, wait, would he be able to shoot automatic? Because that kind of, but I don't think they have electricity.
Guns don't use electricity. I mean.
Nah, I don't. So, they were using, maybe that's all they could.
Well, they said guns were outlawed at one point, and, that's.
Right,
but
who knows?
Why they have to go break into a museum and steal muskets?
Because they have to load it up.
Yeah.
The beginning voiceover, awful. I thought I was watching The Sandlot because it was it's I kissed her and I kissed her good. No, I love The Sandlot, but it felt so out of place here.
It did.
Just a lot of weird things, and I just felt like there wasn't enough there beyond that initial concept, which was. Pretty much the cool part of that concept was covered in the first 5 minutes of the show. Hey, the stuff goes out.
And again, when things go out, why does everything have to go out boom, 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 boom?
Yeah.
Everything should just turn out. It's it starts right at my car,
and then
I see the line go down perfectly down the highway, and then it reaches the city, and the city goes out.
Yeah.
How perfect of a visual.
A lot of liberties taken for sure. And I think I would have been more interested, and they might do this, I don't know, this is just one episode, the immediate aftermath of this.
Flashbacks.
I mean, they're going to do flashbacks, but that part to me would be more interesting, what almost like a zombie apocalypse, this is what happens right afterwards. What would happen after this? It's a different thing. We flash forward to see them living a perfect little life in this little suburby thing, but then obviously the militia comes in. I don't know.
A little cul-de-sac that they turned into their own little area.
And without revealing who the big bad is, just not as menacing as Giancarlo Esposito. So I kind of was oh, it would be cooler if he was the bad guy because he's so much more of a presence than this other guy who seems to be awful as a villain.
Well, they're definitely you can tell with the show. I mean, it's a prediction, but they're definitely going to bring someone back from the dead that you think is dead. They in this first episode, you are introduced to people who turn.
Right.
Who are good or bad or, and they play with that a lot.
But then there's that little love story part. I was like,
oh boy, so bad.
Here we go.
So bad.
I gotta save her because, whatever. But it is what it is. I would
I
say,
don't like you because you're not my mom.
Yeah.
You just saved my brother's life, but I'm going to be a bitch to you.
Yeah, it was
Come on. That is awful.
A lot of poor things in the show.
so
And I
bad.
honestly don't think I would watch more. I probably will watch one more because of that last little twist. Because I'm interested. Now I got to know. I'm like, what is that? You know? It's almost like Lost. It keeps you in. You know? But this doesn't have the strength of characters.
It certainly
at least so
does
far.
not have the pilot that Lost had.
Right. I did like
By any
I did like
means.
the Miles guy. I think beyond the fact that he was like a super samurai guy, he was a cool character, and I enjoyed him on the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
and-
ridiculous,
yeah,
but I still
sure.
thought the actor was decent. So that's Revolution.
Certainly wasn't a revolution in our mind.
No, but check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It's you can watch it for free, obviously
Yeah.
on TV on the 17th of September, or right now online, NBC.com or Xfinity. So that's it for another episode of Epic Geek Up. But before we let you go, we want to give our thanks for some geek things. So Rob, what's your thanks today?
I'm thankful for a little place, a little store. Not that little, but used to be known as EB Games back in the day. But I would like to give my geek thanks of the day to GameStop. Now,
GameStop.
there's a lot of different ways that we can buy video games now. I mean, Amazon does, you can pre-order and then it'll ship to you the day it comes out. There's Steam, you know, there's a lot of different ways to get your video games nowadays. There's Best Buy, there's all these places.
Yes.
But Best Buy was awful. I had a really bad experience with them the last day trying to do a digital download for them, basically for Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
It was an awful, awful experience. But today, I call my local GameStop. I say, hey, do you have this game? They're like, yeah, we have a couple copies left. You want us to put one to the side for you? I'm like, yeah, thanks so much. Go in there and get it. It's just a great experience. Also, to shop at GameStop is nice because normally the people who work there are as geeky as you are, if not
Right.
geekier, and they can certainly help you be pointed in the right direction. You know, I've had a lot of people go in there, and I've talked to a lot of employees, and I was about to buy a game, and they're like, dude, no, really, you should get this instead.
I love that, yeah. when they
It's a
say
cool
that.
environment, and, you know, I've really never been to a GameStop where I'm like, oh, these guys are annoying, you know, things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So, you know, definitely support your local GameStop. I don't think they're going to be here in a couple years.
With the used games.
With the used
Yeah,
game
we'll see.
idea that Xbox and, you know, PS3 are saying they're not going to allow used games for their next gen, it could really kill their business model. So support it while it lasts. It might go the way of Blockbusters. So we'll be telling our
Circuit
kids
Cities.
stories about this at an old age. So get there while it lasts.
Cool. So my thanks today is something that I've been watching a lot of recently called TED Talks. TED is the technology entertainment.
Download the movie.
No, I did. Yeah, the movie. But TED is technology, entertainment, and design. It's like a multi-global conferences that they have. And they post their talks on their website. Also, I have the app for the iPad. But they have kind of all kinds of different types of talks. They have like business talks, you know, invention talks, but a lot of different stuff. Thousands of them are online. They're like 10 to 20 minutes each. So they're quick watch, but really interesting stuff. Really awesome stuff. I was
Yeah.
watching this one where this
Find
guy...
something that you are interested in and then
Yeah.
watch an expert talk about
Exactly,
it.
pretty
So-
much. I was watching this one where this guy created this like computer that he could project on the wall. Like he wore this thing and he could go like this and it would take a picture and then he could like project it on the wall and like edit it with his hand. It was insane, but cool.
That
you
is
know?
insane.
Some cool stuff, you know, kind of shows you what's going to be coming in the future. And also scary stuff too about time travel
Yeah.
and stuff. But it's cool, so check it out. TED, I think TED.com I think is the website, or you can search on Google. But we'll be back next week with all new episodes of Epic Geek Out. We have some fun things we're going to be talking about. No movies next week, unfortunately, so we'll be talking about some other fun geeky things. But thanks for watching this episode, and have a great weekend.